Hi folks, I'm Caron Myers and I am down here at the lighthouse right here at Ponce Inlet where there are a bunch of race car drivers that are out here, and I'm talking some race car drivers. One in particular, well, she happens to be one of my heroes and her name is Vicki Wood. And Vicki, I would like you to tell me a little bit about your racing history. How'd you get involved?
Well, we used to go to we went the first time. We lived near a racetrack about 2 miles away, and we could hear the roar of the cars. So my husband says, let's go to the races. I said, okay, we'll go. We went, and they had a powder puff race.
And a powder puff race, for those of us that don't know, is whenever they would get the girls together, not the guys.
No, and they would borrow the cars from the boys, and they would have a race, 10-lap race, you know. And they were so bad that they were running into each other, running into the walls, and I don't know. And I made a remark to my husband. I says, if I couldn't do any better than that, I wouldn't be out there. So he didn't say anything. Next week he says, let's go to the races. I says, okay. So we went, and he says, we'll go to the pit area and see some of the drivers and all. I said, all right. And he comes to a car and he says, all right, Smarty, you think you're so good? Get in there and see what you can do.
And you did?
No. Well, they sent me out to qualify.
Yeah.
I've never been on the track before, never been in a race car, nothing, didn't know anything about racing. But I did like to drive. And I was raised with 6 brothers, and we always had cars around,
right?
And we worked on them and all. But anyway, I went out there. I was the slowest qualifier they ever had, and I thought I was breaking all kinds of records. But anyway, they had the powder puff race, and they had, I don't know, it was 15 or 20 girls, and they put me in the back of the pack because I was such a slow qualifier. Well, anyway, I ended up 9th out of all of the girls. And next day we went to Mount Clemens, which was another city, and they had a flat asphalt track. And I raced down there, and I won the race there.
You won the race. And how old were you at that time?
I think I was in my late 30s. And then we went to Flat Rock, Michigan, and that was a banked asphalt track. And I won that.
Oh my word. So what were the boys thinking of you at this point in time? Here you're racing out there and you're doing a pretty good job.
I was kept on going for a while, and I was winning some, and of course, and I wasn't winning them all, but I ended up with 48 trophies when I quit racing. But anyway, the boys, the top boys come over and said, Vicki, says, you're too good to drive with those girls. Why don't you come and race with us men?
Right.
She says, I'd rather race with you than with half of these boys that we have here.
So you started racing with the guys when they asked you to come and race with them.
Right. And I did pretty well. And they even gave me pointers, too, to how to race and so forth.
And so, yes. And then at that point, so you kept going. Well, tell me about your most favorite times, which were down here at Daytona.
Yes.
And if I'm not mistaken, you hold a record down here.
I sure do. When I arrived in Florida for the first time, I couldn't believe that you could actually drive on the sand. I said, no, you can't do that. But anyway, we did, and I had drove a Chrysler 300, and I got the second top mark from, Warren Koechling drove the Chrysler first, and then I drove it, and I came in second.
What year was that, Vicki?
55.
In 1955. So, and that's the same year as my husband's dad, Bobby Myers, was actually out here in that same race. So that's very cool. Yeah. So tell me what the top speed was that you have, and from what I'm hearing, that's an unbroken record.
It's 150. 150.375 on the sand.
150.375 on the sand. That is incredible. And folks, you can see why Vicki Wood is one of my heroes and has been for many, many years. When did you stop racing? At what year?
1963.
1963 you stopped racing.
Yeah,
and
when the boys said that if I keep on racing with them, they're going out and strike.
they were going to go strike.
Yeah, because they didn't. He says, how would you like to go to work the next day and have them say to you, he says, I thought you were a race driver. He said, how come you let that woman run rings around you?
Oh my goodness.
So I can see why they had such a, a feeling about that.
That's amazing.
So that's when I quit.
But what do you think now about females in racing?
Well, they're good drivers. Danica Patrick is a very, very nice person, and she's a good driver.
Do you pull for her?
Oh, sure I do. After all, she's a good. She can do it if she tries, but the boys are giving her a hard time.
And they did you too?
I know they are. They hide it such ways that you can't tell, but they do give her a hard time.
Yeah. Well, again, I am so privileged to be out here today on this beautiful day right here at Ponce Inlet here in Florida, and I am talking to one of the most famous race car drivers that's ever been, especially for women, and that is Vicki Wood. So thanks, Vicki, for talking to me.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
And